Good evening. This is the Guyana Learning Channel's news in capsule for Monday, July 12, 2021. Here's a look at the top stories we will be covering. Guyana receives Sputnik V vaccine. Guyanese benefit from $3.2 billion Because We Care cash grant. And South Korea to assist GRA in modernization of customs administration. In the world of sports, MCYNS and Guyana getting ready for Pakistan T20I series. Regionally, Cayman Islands marks 1 year without local transmission of COVID-19. And internationally, North Korea and China vow to strengthen ties. With the news in detail, I am Zinelli Singh. The government of Guyana has received a quantity of the second dose of the Russian Sputnik V vaccine and will begin administration to those persons who received their first doses in April from tomorrow. This was announced by Minister of Health Honorable Dr. Frank Anthony during today's COVID-19 update. The period to receive the second dose of the Russian vaccine is between 4 to 12 weeks. In addition to this, Minister Anthony noted that the government is expecting another shipment of the Sputnik V vaccine next week. This, he assured, will ensure that everyone who would have received their first dose of the vaccine get their second dose before the 4 to 12-week timeline. Guyana had experienced a delay in receiving the shipment of the second dose after there was a global shortage due to the spike in the Delta variant of COVID. The Sputnik V vaccine has proven most effective against this variant. To date, close to 240,000 persons have received their first doses, while over 120 persons are fully vaccinated. This was extracted and modified from the Department of Public Information. The government of Guyana, through the Ministry of Education, will commence the handing over of the Because We Care cash grant and the school uniform and supplies grant to children in the public school system on July 15, 2021. The Because We Care grant is valued at $15,000 this year, and the school uniform and supplies grant is valued at $4,000, giving a total of $19,000 for each child in the public education system. Approximately 172,000 students will benefit from the program, giving a total of $3.2 billion going towards children and families across Guyana. Unlike last year, uniform and supplies grant will not be given in the form of a voucher, but rather as cash. Parents or guardians of children in the public school system from nursery to secondary level are to visit their respective schools on the scheduled date to uplift the grant. If a parent or guardian fails to uplift the grant on the scheduled date, they will be allowed to do so at a later date at the Department of Education for that region or education district. This initiative of the government of Guyana is to provide assistance to families so that they can provide the necessary resources to their children, so that they can not only remain in schools but also excel in their studies. The government of Guyana has committed to increasing the Because We Care cash grant incrementally each year until it reaches $50,000. The Guyana Revenue Authority, GRA, aided by the Korea Customs Service, KCS, a tax organization in South Korea under the Ministry of Economy and Finance, has kick-started consultations for the modernization of Guyana's customs administration. A press release from GRA on Friday stated that a delegation of 6 consultants from KCS arrived in Guyana on Sunday last, in keeping with the previous aid agreement between it and GRA. During the visit, the KSC project team is expected to introduce UniPass, Korea's e-customs clearance system, which provides a swift customs clearance, increased government revenue, connects various government and private parties to facilitate international trade, and ultimately contribute to economic development. This was extracted and modified from Newsroom. And now in the world of sports. Continuing the robust and no-nonsense approach towards the development of sports in Guyana, the Ministry of Culture, Youth and Sport is pulling out all the stops to ensure that Guyana's national stadium at Providence is in pristine shape for the hosting of the 3 West Indies versus Pakistan T20I matches on July 31st, August 1st and August 3rd, 2021. Works to ensure the facility, inclusive of field and other amenities, are in tip-top shape are currently ongoing. And now for regional news. As the world continues to grapple with the COVID-19 pandemic for a second year, the Cayman Islands marks 1 year without local transmission of the disease. The country, amongst only a handful worldwide, achieved this milestone on Sunday last. After the first case was reported in the Cayman Islands on March 13, 2020, The Cayman Islands has maintained its success in battling the coronavirus through strict border control and travel regulations. Stringent technology-based quarantine measures and rigorous contact tracing have been vital. Premier Wayne Panton noted that the Cayman Islands is one of the first jurisdictions to have avoided community transmission for this length of time. This was extracted and modified from Loop News. And now for international news. The North Korean and Chinese leaders expressed their desire Sunday to further strengthen their ties as they exchanged messages marking the 60th anniversary of their country's defense treaty. In a message to Chinese President Xi Jinping, North Korean leader Kim Jong-un said it is the fixed stand of his government to ceaselessly develop the friendly and cooperative relations between the countries. North Korea has been expected to seek greater support from China, its major ally and aid benefactor, as it grapples with economic hardship due to the coronavirus pandemic and crippling US-led sanctions over its nuclear weapons program. China, for its part, sees preventing a North Korean collapse as crucial to its security interests and would need to boost ties with North Korea and other traditional allies amid fierce rivalry with the United States. This was extracted and modified from Loop News. With that, we've reached the end of today's broadcast. Be sure to join us again tomorrow right here on the Guyana Learning Channel for more educational news and updates. On behalf of the technical team, thanks for watching and remember to stay safe, Guyana.